It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
What is the first thing when somebody asks me what's the secret to financial fulfillment and what's the secret to financial independence? The answer is exactly the same.
Okay.
Deferred gratification. If you can take a little bit of today for an outstanding, spectacular tomorrow, it works both. If you think about underindulging with your resources and your money, it works with underindulging with your money so that you can build a financial independence in the future.
Yep.
It truly is incredible. And here's the other thing about underindulging. I love fruit. I love eating fruit. If you
No idea where you're going with this.
No, but hear me out on this, because I think it's a good analogy. And this is coming off the cuff because I was thinking about what I'm hungry for right now and what I did while we were on a break between shows. You give me a bowl of blueberries, strawberries, and a banana or something. I love the taste of it. But you want to know what happens if you go and you eat 3 or 4 Hershey's Kisses before you eat the blueberry or the strawberry?
Oh, it doesn't taste as good.
It's not good because you had too much sweetness come in at once. Well, it's the same thing with underindulging. I don't care what you do. If you're like my family loves going to Disney World. Mm-hmm. If we went to Disney World 4 times this year, I don't know that we would love it as much.
That it would be as special.
Because you're basically binging on this thing and you start taking it for granted. I don't think so. Scarcity. I mean, Bo, hey, look, I'm going to pick on you. Even though you got married super young, I do think you had more game dating than I did. So what is always the key rule about dating is that it's just like if you had a great date, you're not supposed to call at 7 or 8 a.m. the next morning. You're supposed to be a scarce resource.
That's right.
Because that creates fondness,
That's
so
right.
the memories grow if you underindulge in activities you enjoy because you appreciate them. They're that much sweeter, they're that much better if you're not just gorging yourself on this.
Well, and I think it's beautiful too, Brian. You already used this example. I think you said, your first car was a Cavalier, and then you had a Toyota, and then you had a Mazda, then a Toyota. You didn't come out of the gate with a Mercedes. You didn't come out of the gate with an Audi. You didn't come out of the gate with a Tesla. By allowing yourself to have those experiences earlier on, you save the fulfillment experience of having that nice car for later in life, which is when you're actually able to enjoy it, and you can afford the insurance on it. You can afford the premium gas for it, or the premium electricity for the Tesla or whatever.
I want one more tip because this is not really in there, but it's something I've recognized from managing money of successful people because I do it and I've seen a lot of my clients do this. Whenever you're going to make a big purchase, if you want to prolong, like what's the best place? If you've been in a huge line that you waited, like they had a brand new restaurant open up down the street today.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was a huge
Grilled
line.
cheeser, yep.
Do you know when the best place and probably the most enjoyment is going to occur? When you're the very first person that's going to be next to be ordered.
Yeah.
Meaning you waited in line for 45 minutes. You're next to get to the cash register to order your sandwich or whatever they're selling at this place. They had the huge line today. That is the ideal place to be, is when you're next to be served because you have the maximum anticipation. You're ahead of all these people. There's all kind of just things exploding inside of you that bring happiness. Well, guess what? The same thing can happen if you over-research the big purchases.
Okay,
I think about one of my clients. She's probably going to listen to this because she's a podcast client, or listener that became a client. She wanted an RV for retirement. I kept saying, well, you've got the money. Have you bought the RV? And she was like, I'm going to do a little more research.
Because
another 3 months goes. I watched a few YouTube videos on it. I know I could buy it, but I'm just going to hold off. She was sitting in that number one spot on deck waiting to go buy her thing. So she was just squeezing a little bit more. So if you want to expand the excitement of the purchase, over-research it. Yeah. I love it. I do it, and I think it's a good thing, and it also ties into the underindulge skill set.
I love it. Number 3
on 4 ways to spend that bring happiness. Spend on someone else.
Oh, an interesting one. The whole generosity principle.
Forever you hear around the holidays, it's much better to give than to receive.
Sure.
No 8-year-old believes that.
No.
I mean, I can tell you.
I've got 2 little girls. I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They do not believe that. Either one. Neither one of them.
You can tell by the way they rip into gifts and stuff, but as you get a little age, a little wisdom under you, there is something to it. There is nothing on my birthday or Christmas that, you know, is just, it is so much more fun for me on Christmas when we're passing out gifts. I love watching people open gifts that you've given them.
Yeah.
I like doing stuff for people. It's something, when you get to the point that you're actually tithing and being charitable, I think there really is, and the research shows it, guys, is that they've done so many studies showing if you were given a pot of money and you had the option of spending it on yourself versus going and spending on somebody else, there is both mental as well as physiology things that occur to you that you're happier and more fulfilled if you're spending that money on somebody else.
I love it.
We had more. I mean, I have so much research on here, but I just don't want to drown people in the whole giving. But I want you to go do some research if you want to be fascinated on how much powerful it is.
And I think what's really, really interesting, and I think we've seen this with a lot of our clients who've reached financial independence. You know, a couple weeks ago, we did an entire episode on the financial independent, retire early movement and idea. One of the things that we found is that even though there are folks who've reached this level where they are financially independent, so if they so chose, they could go sit on the beach and sip Mai Tais and live that life. That's not actually the thing that they want to do. What they want to do is, now that they have the time freedom, they want to go volunteer with their favorite organization.
Yeah.
They want to go pour into the
make a
lives of
difference.
others. This is not just about spending money on someone else or giving money away. Well, a lot of the studies, that's how they anecdotally did that. We've seen personally with our clients,
I think it's a good point,
that one of the ways that they experience the most happiness is taking their whole family on a cruise, taking all the siblings, all the grandkids, and taking them on a river cruise.
because that marries multiple things: the experiences,
That's right.
plus you're also being generous. It really is a magic. And I like the fact that, because we do have a number of clients that are, I guess you would call them FIRE, because they are financially independent earlier. But it is kind of one of those things that we've gotten a lot of comments about. They didn't just quit.
That's right.
They're going to go find something more fulfilling, that actually go work for causes or do things, teach, educate, do all kind of things.